My dear brothers and sisters, let me ask you something very serious. Have you ever noticed that some blessings disappear the moment you talk about them? Have you ever felt that something you shared too early suddenly lost its peace? This is not coincidence. This is not bad luck. This is a lesson many people learn too late. Allah, in His wisdom, sometimes protects you by keeping things hidden. But when you expose what Allah intended to cover, you weaken that protection. Not everyone who listens wants good for you. Not every smile carries sincerity. And not every conversation is safe. Today, I want to warn you about 5 things that should never leave your heart or your tongue. Because silence in these moments is not fear, it is faith, wisdom, and protection. 1. Never share the moment Allah is transforming you. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a very delicate and sacred stage in life that many people do not recognize until they look back and realize what Allah was doing all along. It is the phase when Allah is changing you quietly, without announcements, without noise, without validation from people. Your mindset begins to shift in ways you cannot fully explain. Things that once excited you no longer move your heart. Sins that once felt normal start to feel heavy. Your heart softens, your conscience awakens, and your priorities slowly realign toward what truly matters. You feel drawn closer to Allah, yet you may also feel confused, isolated, or misunderstood. You are no longer comfortable being who you used to be, but you are not yet settled into the person Allah is shaping you to become. This in-between stage is extremely fragile. And this, my brothers and sisters, is the most dangerous time to start explaining yourself to people. Why? Because most people only know the version of you that benefited them, the version that fit into their expectations, the version that was predictable. When you begin to change, they may not understand it. Some will question your intentions. Some will mock your transformation. Some will say you've changed as if growth is a crime. Others may remind you of your past mistakes to keep you tied to an identity Allah is already removing from you. Not because they are evil, but because change makes people uncomfortable, especially when it reminds them of their own stagnation. Spiritual growth, my brothers and sisters, is like a seed planted in the soil. In the early stages, it needs darkness, silence, and protection. If you dig it up too early to show others that it is growing, you may damage it. When you expose your transformation before it is firm, you open yourself to unnecessary doubts, opinions, and pressure that can weaken your resolve. That is why Islam teaches us wisdom, not constant explanation. Allah did not ask you to justify your journey to everyone. He asked you to walk it sincerely. There will come a time when your actions speak louder than your explanations. There will come a time when your consistency answers questions without words. Until then, protect this phase. Let Allah complete His work within you. Let Him strengthen your roots before He allows your growth to be visible. Not everyone needs to understand your silence. Not everyone deserves access to your inner journey. If Allah is pleased with the direction you are heading, that is more than enough. Because when Allah transforms you, He does not need the world's permission, and He certainly does not need its approval. 2. Never share how deeply something hurt you. My dear brothers and sisters, pain is one of the most personal experiences a human being can go through. When something hurts you deeply, it leaves a mark not just on your emotions, but on your heart, your trust, and your sense of safety. Islam does not tell us to deny pain, but it teaches us how to carry it with dignity. One of the biggest mistakes people make is explaining their pain to everyone who asks, replaying the wound again and again through words. Each time you describe how badly you were hurt, you reopen what Allah is trying to heal. When you tell people exactly how much something affected you, you unknowingly expose your most sensitive areas. Some may listen with sympathy, but others may listen with curiosity. Some may feel sorry for you, but others may quietly judge you. And there are those who may store that information not to help you, but to use it against you later in arguments, in moments of anger, or even as silent leverage. Islam teaches us to be wise, not naive. Your vulnerability is not entertainment, and your pain is not a public discussion. My brothers and sisters, Allah is the only one who can hear your pain without misusing it. When you cry to Allah, He does not gossip about you. He does not remind you of it later. He does not expose you because of it. Allah listens, He understands, and He heals. That is why Yaqub alayhi salam said, I only complain of my suffering and my grief to Allah. This is not weakness, this is strength. This is tawakkul. This is knowing where true safety lies. Sharing pain with the wrong people can slow your healing. Instead of moving forward, you become trapped in the story of what happened to you. You begin to define yourself by the wound rather than the wisdom Allah wants to give you through it. Islam teaches us that trials are meant to elevate us, not trap us. Speak when it brings solution, not when it only brings sympathy. Seek advice when it brings clarity, not when it invites judgment. Choose carefully who has access to your pain. If you must speak, speak to someone who fears Allah, someone who will make dua for you instead of discussing you, someone who will guide you closer to Allah instead of keeping you stuck in hurt. And if you feel unsure, return to sujood, return to dua, return to silence, because not every heart deserves to know what broke yours. Some wounds heal best when they are shared only with Allah. 3. Never share the du'as you are making in secret. My dear brothers and sisters, there are certain du'as that come from a place so deep in the heart that only Allah truly understands their weight. These are not casual requests. These are not light wishes. These are the du'as you whisper when no one is watching. The du'as you make when your eyes are heavy with tears, when your chest feels tight, when your heart speaks words your tongue can barely form. These du'as are sacred. They are a private conversation between you and Allah. And not every conversation with Allah is meant to be shared with people. Many people make the mistake of announcing their du'as before Allah answers them. They tell others what they are asking for, what they are hoping for, what they are waiting for. And while some people may encourage you, others may unknowingly plant doubt in your heart. They may say, that is very difficult, or I don't think that will happen, or you should be more realistic. These words may seem harmless, but they slowly enter your heart and weaken your certainty in Allah's power. And certainty, my brothers and sisters, is the soul of dua. When you share your dua too openly, you also expose it to comparison. Someone may respond by talking about their own situation, their own story, their own disappointment. And suddenly, instead of strengthening your hope, your heart becomes heavier. You begin to measure Allah's response by people's experiences, forgetting that Allah deals with each servant personally. Your dua is unique, your test is unique, and Allah's plan for you is unique. There is also a deeper wisdom here, my brothers and sisters. Some du'as are meant to stay hidden because secrecy protects sincerity. When no one knows what you are asking Allah for, your heart remains attached to Him alone. You are not waiting for people's approval. You are not looking for reassurance from creation. You are relying fully on the Creator, and that level of reliance brings a special closeness to Allah. It purifies your intention and strengthens your tawakkul. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that Allah loves the servant who calls upon Him sincerely and persistently. That private dua, repeated again and again, builds a bond with Allah that public words cannot replace. When you keep your dua secret, you are saying, Ya Allah, you are enough for me. I do not need anyone else to validate my hope. And Allah never disappoints a heart that trusts Him fully, even if the answer comes in a different form or at a different time. My brothers and sisters, this does not mean you can never ask someone to make dua for you. Islam encourages us to make dua for one another. But there is a difference between seeking sincere prayers and exposing your deepest hopes to everyone. Be selective, be wise, protect the du'as that are closest to your heart, protect the tears that only Allah has seen, protect the hope that keeps you standing. And remember this beautiful truth: when Allah answers a secret du'a, He answers it in a way that leaves people amazed, not informed. They see the outcome, but they never knew the struggle. They witnessed the blessing, but they never heard the plea. And that, my brothers and sisters, is one of the most beautiful ways Allah honors a servant. Keep some prayers between you and Allah. Let Him surprise you. Let Him reward you. Let Him be the one who reveals what He chooses, when He chooses. 4. Never share your inner struggles with faith with the wrong people. My dear brothers and sisters, let me say something very important today. Something many people feel but are afraid to admit. Every believer, no matter how strong they appear, goes through moments when faith feels heavy, moments when the heart feels distant, moments when you struggle to pray with focus, when doubts whisper, when motivation fades, and when you quietly wonder, what is happening to my iman? These moments do not make you a bad Muslim. They make you human. But what matters greatly is who you choose to speak to during these moments. When faith feels weak, the heart becomes vulnerable. And vulnerability, my brothers and sisters, must be protected. If you take your inner struggles and place them in the hands of the wrong people, those struggles can grow instead of heal. Some people may dismiss your feelings. Some may make light of your pain. Others may normalize sin and say, everyone does it, don't worry, instead of guiding you back to Allah. And some may even use your moment of weakness to push you further away from your deen. This is dangerous, not because people are evil, but because not everyone understands the responsibility of guiding a heart that is struggling with faith. Islam teaches us that iman rises and falls. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ experienced this too, yet they did not expose their hearts to just anyone. They turned to knowledge, to sincere counsel, and most importantly, to Allah. When you share your faith struggles with someone who lacks taqwa, you risk turning a temporary weakness into a long-term distance from Allah. Words spoken carelessly at the wrong time can leave scars that take years to heal. My brothers and sisters, there is also something very subtle that happens when you repeatedly talk about weak iman in the wrong environment. You begin to identify yourself by that weakness. Instead of seeing it as a passing phase, you start believing it defines you. Shaitan loves this. He wants you to think you are broken beyond repair. But Allah tells us again and again that His mercy is greater than every sin, every doubt, every low moment. The door to Allah is never closed. But you must choose the right path back. When faith feels heavy, turn first to Allah Himself. Speak to Him honestly. Say, Ya Allah, my heart feels weak. Strengthen it. This dua alone carries immense power. Allah is closer to you than anyone else, and He understands your struggle better than you understand it yourself. Cry to Him in the quiet of the night. Sit with the Quran even if your heart feels numb. Sometimes showing up is enough for Allah to begin healing you. If you feel the need to speak to someone, choose wisely. Choose someone who fears Allah, someone whose words increase your love for Allah, not your excuses for disobedience. Choose someone who reminds you of hope, not despair. A sincere scholar, a knowledgeable friend, a person of wisdom and compassion. One conversation with the right person can lift a heart that has been drowning for months. My dear brothers and sisters, your iman is precious. It is the most valuable thing you possess in this world. Do not hand it to those who treat it lightly. Do not allow a moment of weakness to become a permanent distance. Protect your faith the way you protect something you cannot afford to lose. Because Allah never abandons a servant who keeps turning back to Him, even with a trembling heart. And remember, struggling with faith in silence while holding on to Allah is far better than speaking carelessly and drifting further away. Lima, never share your next move after Allah gives you clarity. My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a very special moment in life when Allah lifts confusion from your heart and replaces it with clarity. After months or even years of uncertainty, pain or struggle, suddenly your heart feels settled. You know what decision you need to make. You know which direction you need to take. You feel peace about moving forward, even if the path ahead still looks difficult. This clarity is not random. It is a gift from Allah. And gifts from Allah must be protected. One of the biggest mistakes people make is rushing to announce this clarity to others. The moment Allah gives you confidence in a decision, you feel an urge to explain it, justify it, and seek approval from people. But my brothers and sisters, clarity can be fragile when exposed too early. When you open your heart to too many opinions, doubts begin to creep in. People will speak from their own fears, not from your reality. They will project their limitations onto your future. They will remind you of risks Allah has already helped you accept. And slowly, what was once clear becomes clouded again. Islam teaches us that not every step needs commentary. When Allah guided Musa alayhi salam, He did not explain every detail of the journey beforehand. When Allah prepared the hijrah for the Prophet sallallahu secrecy was part of divine wisdom, not because people were evil, but because protection was necessary. Sometimes Allah gives you clarity quietly so that you move with reliance on Him, not with dependence on people's opinions. My dear brothers and sisters, understand this deeply. When Allah opens a door for you, you do not need permission from the world to walk through it. Too many people delay obedience, growth, or change because they are waiting for validation. But Allah does not ask you to collect approval. He asks you to trust Him. When you speak too early, you invite unnecessary interference. Someone may question your decision. Someone may discourage you. Someone may remind you of your past failures. And suddenly, the courage Allah placed in your heart begins to shake. This does not mean you should never seek advice. Islam encourages consultation, but there is a difference between wise consultation and excessive exposure. Seek counsel before clarity, not after it. Once Allah has settled your heart, move forward with humility and trust. Protect that moment, guard it. Let actions speak instead of explanation. Let results arrive quietly. The strongest decisions are often the ones made between you and Allah, not the ones debated in public. There is also a spiritual danger in oversharing clarity. Sometimes Allah tests whether you will rely on Him or on people. When you keep your next move private, you are saying, Ya Allah, I trust you more than I trust opinions. And Allah loves that trust. He loves the servant who walks forward with tawakkul, even when no one else understands. My brothers and sisters, many people lose momentum not because the path was wrong, but because too many voices entered their heart. Protect your direction, protect your intention, protect your clarity. If Allah gave you peace about a step, that peace is more valuable than 1,000 opinions. Walk forward quietly. Do what needs to be done. And when Allah allows the outcome to appear, people will understand without explanation. Remember this beautiful truth. What is written for you by Allah does not need to be announced to succeed. Silence after clarity is not secrecy. It is strength, it is wisdom, and it is a sign of deep trust in Allah. My dear brothers and sisters, if there is one lesson to take from all of this, it is that not everything in your life needs an audience. Islam does not teach us to live hidden lives, but it teaches us to live wise lives. In a world where everyone is speaking, posting, and explaining, silence has become rare, and that is exactly why it has become powerful. The heart that knows when to speak and when to remain silent is a heart that is protected by Allah. There are moments when Allah is shaping you, healing you, guiding you, and preparing you for something greater. During those moments, your responsibility is not to explain yourself to people, but to stay sincere with Allah. When you protect your transformation, your pain, your du'as, your faith, and your clarity, you are not hiding, you are trusting. You are allowing Allah to work without interference. You are choosing divine guidance over human opinion. My brothers and sisters, many people lose peace not because Allah removed it, but because they gave it away by speaking to the wrong hearts. Not everyone who listens understands. Not everyone who smiles supports. And not everyone who advises sees what Allah sees. But Allah sees everything. He knows your struggle. He knows your intention. He knows what you are trying to leave behind and what you are trying to become. And He does not need you to justify yourself. Learn to keep some things between you and Allah. Let your growth mature in silence. Let your healing happen privately. Let your dua rise without noise. Let your